Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Look at this fluffy red velvet chocolate marble cake. Have you ever had a red velvet chocolate marble cake? This cake is for you. See how nice and fluffy and bouncy and jiggly. I've had so many adjectives for this cake. The hole in the middle is because I dipped a knife into it to see if it was done. Yeah, that's me. Okay, so let's get started. Today I'm going to be giving you this recipe, and I'm going to be giving you two recipes in one. So, and then we're going to be baking it together to make this marble cake. So we need a red velvet cake and then a chocolate cake, because we're not just going to take a cake and color it brown and red. No, we're not going to do that because we are proper bakers. Okay, so what we want to do today is make a marble cake with red velvet and chocolate. So the first thing we're going to do is make a red velvet cake and then make a chocolate cake, and then we are going to marble the batter. So let's get started. First of all, we are making the red velvet cake. To that you need 3 eggs, yeah, and then to that 3 eggs you're going to separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. And when you're doing that, for the egg whites, you want to make sure your bowl is wiped completely clean. And then for it to be like that, yeah, okay, no, we're making chocolate first, forgive me, yeah. So you want to, once you've separated it, and then you want to whisk your egg white until it is frothy and kind of looks like soap lather kind of. And then we're going to add our sugar to it. And today we're going to be needing 90 grams of sugar, but we're going to be adding it in 3 batches. The reason is because like it gives you more frothy, fluffy egg white mixture, because like it gets a lot of volume if you add it in batches than if you add it all at once if you're in a hurry. So don't do this in a hurry, because this is what will create the base for your chocolate cake, for it to be really nice and fluffy. Because we're not trying to make a dense chocolate cake today, we're trying to make a really nice, light and fluffy chocolate cake that is very low in calories actually compared to regular dense chocolate cakes. Okay, so moving on, the next thing we want to do once this is mixed and fluffy is, okay, so once we are done, we want to add our egg yolks to it, and then we want to fold the egg yolks into the egg white mixture. And then to that, remember to add a pinch of salt, and then we are going to fold until it is combined, yeah. And once it is combined, so we're going to, in a separate bowl, we're going to put 45 grams of flour, 45 grams of cocoa powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we are going to sift it into our egg and sugar mixture basically, and then we are going to fold. And then when you're folding this together, you want to fold it until it is just mixed. You don't want to fold it too much because you don't want to deflate your egg white that you already mixed, if that makes sense, yeah. Okay, so just fold this until it is lightly incorporated, and that's just okay for you. Okay, so the next thing we want to do after that is, in a separate bowl we have 30 grams of butter, and then 30 grams of hot milk. I said hot milk. So excuse me. What you want to do is temper the butter. So you want to take some of your chocolate butter and add it to your hot milk and butter mixture. The reason why you're using hot milk is because it increases the temperature of your batter. So when you put it in the oven or whatever you're baking in, yeah, like the temperature has already gotten to a certain level that is not starting from scratch, so it rises really well and increases the fluffiness. So you're going to thank me if you use hot milk, and you can use cold milk too if you're a lazy person. Anyway, so moving on, you want to stir and stir until it is well combined. You don't want to overmix, you just want to stir until, yeah, your batter might be a little bit lumpy. Don't worry about that, that's okay. So you just want to stir until like it looks at least a little bit well combined, if that makes sense. So we're kind of going to stop at this stage, and then we're going to put this aside, and then we are going to move on to our red velvet batter. So now we have our chocolate batter, and we're going to keep it aside. Okay, so moving on, we need, for our red velvet cake, okay, I'm making a little extra for this, but the real recipe is going to be in the description box below, and I'm going to explain it to you guys. I kind of like 1.5 the recipe. Is that a good English? Anyways, so today you're going to be needing 3 egg whites, yeah. Yes, I'm using 5 because like I kind of like 1.5 to the recipe, like I said initially. Okay, so today you're going to be needing 3 egg whites, and to that 3 egg whites you're going to be needing 85 grams of sugar. So you're going to that egg white, yeah, you're going to start whisking it just like we did for the chocolate batter. You want to get like a frothy like soapy consistency first with your whisk before you start to add the sugar to it. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, just like we did initially, basically. And like we did initially, you want to like add your sugar to it in batches, because when you add the sugar to it in batches, like I said initially, you're going to get more volume in your egg whites. Okay, so you want to whisk this until you get like a glossy, really thick consistency with very stiff peak. Yeah, that's where we're going. So once you get that, the next thing you want to do is add your your egg yolks to it and stir with a spatula. At this point, stop stirring with the mixer. You're done with the mixer basically. And then to your egg yolks, you're going to add a pinch of salt and some red food coloring. I don't really measure how much red food coloring. I just put enough until my ancestors say it's enough, damn it, stop adding. So then I stop adding. So to that, you're going to add some vanilla, and then you're going to add your red food coloring, and then you're going to add it to your egg white mixture, and then you're going to stir with a spatula. Notice we're no longer using the mixer, we're stirring with our hands. So this is what you want to do. So the amount of red velvet you use, the amount of red food coloring you use depends on you. How red do you want it to be? Do you want it to be very red, or do you want it to be just, just red? Okay, in another bowl we have 80 grams of flour, 10 grams of cocoa powder, and a quarter of a teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to pour that in a sieve and then sift it. The reason why you're sieving it is because you're separating the particles of the flour, which makes your cake even fluffier. How fluffy can this cake get? Yeah. It makes your cake even fluffier. So now you want to stir that flour mixture into your batter, and you want to stir it until it's just lightly combined. You don't want to over stir it, and then once you think it has gotten to that point, then you stop. Okay, so in another bowl we have 30 grams of butter that we already melted butter, and then we have 30 grams of milk. So to that, we are going to temper our butter by taking some of the red velvet mixture that we made, and then we're going to put it in the oil and butter mixture. And then to the oil and butter mixture, we're going to add to that 3 tablespoons of oil, just like unscented oil. You can use any oil, sunflower oil, vegetable oil. Just make sure it has no smell, basically. And then once you, that's the reason why you're tempering is because like it doesn't deflate what you already have in your bowl, because you took your time and whipped up those egg whites. You don't want them to deflate. So next thing you want to do once you're done tempering is to pour your tempered solution into your red velvet cake batter again, and then you mix. And that's all she wrote, guys. That's all you have to do. And then just fold it together, and that's all. Like, so easy. Yeah, I know. Okay, so once your batter is ready, next thing you want to do is take a pan that you're going to bake in, and then we are going to be alternating the red velvet and the chocolate. So put some red velvet, some chocolate, some red velvet, some chocolate, kind of like that. The reason why I'm using this pan today is because I'm going to show you guys how to bake in a pot. Yes. Not baking in an oven, you're going to bake in a pot. And this is the only pan I have that can fit in my biggest pot. So if you want a video on how to like conveniently bake a perfect cake in a pot, yes, I'm going to put the link right up here for you to watch. It says click on me. Yeah, click on that. So today we're going to bake in this pot. And if you want to bake in a pot, you need to put something at the base, because your pan can't be touching your pot directly. So I'm showing you how to like arrange forks. You can also arrange spoons just like this. You just want to create a base for you to be able to put your pan on top. Yeah, and you want to use a pan that when you put it, it can cover. I can't use this pan because it won't cover. Yeah, I can use a smaller one because it won't cover. So that's why I'm using this roundish pan, because that's the smallest pan I have that can fit in my biggest pot and cover conveniently. Yes, and that pan kind of comes with a base, and that's the base underneath it right now. So we're going to put the base and then put our cake, and then we are going to, if you notice, there's still some space on top for hot air to be able to circulate. Yeah, so now we are going to cover our pot, and then you put our lid on it, and then make sure you like put the foil all around it to be completely covered, so there's no air pocket or anything. So this takes around 30 minutes basically. This takes around 30 minutes. So after like 25 minutes, you can open to check, but it was around like 28-30 minutes at this point, and it's very hot, so you have to be careful. Okay, so now let me show you guys what we have. See how perfectly baked this cake is. Yeah, and I couldn't wait for it. Make sure to check if it's done with maybe a sharp object, just to be in the middle. I couldn't wait for it to, like, cool down to show you guys, because laziness won't just, no, not laziness actually, I was just too excited because I wanted to just like see what it tastes like and stuff. So slice into it and see how nice and fluffy this is. Yeah, so if you want to make a marble red velvet chocolate cake, this is the perfect cake for you. And it's best for you to wait for it to cool, because that way you get the best results. Just leave it in the pan to cool completely before even bringing it out. So thank you guys for always watching my videos, and I will see you in my future tutorials. Please like and subscribe to this channel because I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.